Hey everyone, this is my first little video about anime and I have to be honest, I have no idea about the copyright and everything like that, but I heard they are quite strict with it, so I'm just gonna use footage of the trailers and stuff, and I hope I won't get my channel taken away after a few days after I uploaded this. At least that's better than getting my life taken away. Even though I don't have much to live for at the moment, but it can change, because after rain there's always a rainbow too, somewhere in the world. Hopefully. It's hard to judge something after just a few episodes, but I just felt like doing it anyways. Maybe you can find something here you haven't checked out yet and get a little bit interested in trying it out. And if you also want me to check out something I haven't talked about, you can leave a comment maybe to recommend me one, because I'm looking for things to watch. So I will surely check it out. There's a few more I've been watching where I won't really go into detail much or even mention them, like Demon Slayer, since, well, everyone knows it and everyone knows what to expect from it, right? And Jiju Kuraku, since I'm probably one of the biggest Mappa haters and would just go onto a big rant about it, despite the adaptation being really solid so far except for the washed out colors that Mappa just really loves to use, which makes me sad. They showed they can make colorful shows like Idaten, which is my favorite anime that they have made, but I guess that one was just a fluke, so yeah. And then there's Oshi no Ko, which I would prefer to watch when all episodes are out. So let's get started with the ones I watched and enjoyed so far, to at least a point where I would say they would get a solid 6 for me or even higher. Kono Subarashi Sakai no Bakuen wo. Megumin got her very own anime and it is actually good. Yeah, it is. A common complaint I see is that people miss the party of the actual anime, but what kind of complaint is that? I can't complain when I go to Burger King, even though I felt hungry for a sandwich instead. Even though nowadays there's somehow a lot of people saying a burger is pretty much a sandwich, which is wrong. Or why else would a burger be called a burger and a sandwich a sandwich? Also, I apologize for using a food analogy, but most of the people watching me are American, so they can relate more to that. Actually, I lied. I never checked my statistics, because checking your statistics and numbers on social media is like poison that will sap out all the fun. Stop caring about numbers and just enjoy your time online. That's what life is about. Except maybe if it's your job, then you have to check them and make sure they stay up. You get exactly what you want out of this. Megumin and Yunyun and all the other chuuni girls doing cute things at the magic school. If you can't handle the chuuniness, then this isn't for you. But for everyone who loves Megumin's style, then it's perfect. Even though there's like 12 Megumins now. Only real Dark Flame Masters are allowed to watch this, so get out if you can't handle their wickedness and cunning skills coupled with their ultimate catchphrases of destruction. Yeah, I'm not really good at being a shoonie myself, so all of this kind of sounded pretty cringe instead of being cool. I apologize, I failed you, Megumin. Maho Shoujo Magical Destroyers. Okay, this one is a hard one to judge. If you look at the opening and ending for it, you may get a completely different feel of what the show is actually like so far. The opening and ending are like, wowzers, this looks so goddamn cool and deep and wow, so much symbolism. And then you watch the anime itself and it's a bit like panty and stalking. At least that's the vibe I got so far of it. All otaku, except a few, got wounded up to change them into normal upstanding people again, but Otaku Hero and a bunch of Maho Choujos, that's Japanese for magical girls, are fighting against it, so everyone can live in a world again where you can like what you like without being judged for it. So far it feels like a scrambled mess, which I still enjoy. One episode is about recruiting Pink again, one of the magical girls who likes to use drugs and is probably a big fan of the Drakengard or Nier franchise with her wild running imagination. Then one episode is about Kaotakus and a giant mecha fight with some crazy stuff happening, and then right after that we get a bikini episode which actually plays at a river instead of the beach, because some old boomer otakus left their old treasured belongings at the bottom of it and get into a heated discussion about modern otakus and old otakus, and in general the whole anime is about otaku culture. Who could have guessed that, since the MC is literally called Otaku Hero. And like I said, this one is the hardest one to judge so far, since there is like an overall plot, but every episode feels so alone standing, and I don't really see that changing. There has been a bunch of theories based on the opening and ending, but I think in the end they're all just a bunch of Chizo or Schizo theories, and that won't really come true. They look cool for the sake of looking cool and won't really tell much about the overall story, and that's what I feel like. And if they do, then I will drink my own sweat out of my socks, and in a way I wish for it to get a bit deeper, but I would be fine with it just staying as a random kind of anime too. I like those. Boku no Kokoro no Yabai Yatsu. I'm a huge fan of the manga and was a bit skeptical when they announced an anime of it and saw the trailers because it looks normal. The art style of the manga does not really translate into the anime that much, and it's a bit of a disappointment in that way, since I love the art style of the manga, how it likes to switch between fairly realistic proportions and then to little chibi versions kinda, making lots of funny and cute faces and all that. You know what I mean, probably. They still have that in the anime, but to a lesser degree. But aside from that, it's a good adaptation, which makes it a great one actually, since the manga itself is great. Normally, I'm not a big fan of romance manga because it always feels like it never goes anywhere for at least 200 chapters before they finally do something. Here it's different and it also feels more natural. Trust me, I'm an expert on love and have totally dated lots throughout my teenager years, so I can of course relate to this, where an absolute manlet falls in love with the cutest girl in the class and she falls in love with the biggest manlet in the class. It's a true story. It really happened to me as well. Well, one part is true, since I'm an absolute manlet with my 5'2", and I also had the same haircut as Ichikawa, the main character, so since that part is real, the part about me dating lots is also real, just trust me. It's just so extremely cute how they both interact with each other, and Ichikawa may be a weirdo sometimes, but he has his heart in the right place. All the awkward social interactions between them just make me smile and melts my heart, and that's a hard thing to do. My heart is normally as cold as the freezer in an Italian ice cream restaurant. Really looking forward to summer this year so I can get lots of ice cream, even though when it's actually summer again I will just complain about how stupidly hot it is again, just like every year, and then I wish for winter again, and then back to summer. Read the manga of this please too. Heavenly Delusion, also Tengoku Tamakyo. The most intriguing anime of the season for me so far. You don't really get much explained of the story at first, but the way it's structured, you can kinda just make up your own theories very easily and go, oh, that's kinda what I guessed, yay. Like some things just make you go, I wonder what's up with that. It throws up many questions, but it never feels like it won't solve those questions, only at the end of it. So you can easily get things explained in a natural way. I'm not really quite sure how to really explain it in the way that it makes me feel. It doesn't make me feel like I'm an idiot, but it also doesn't make me think I'm a baby, if that makes sense. I don't like being a baby, but you know, sometimes you kind of wish you could be a baby again, right? Or is it just me? That kind of sounds like a fetish. It's not one. I mean, you don't have a responsibility as a kid or baby. I don't know. It really makes me want to know more and more with each passing episode. And I really want to give in and just start reading the manga instead, but the whole animation and overall style of it is just too pleasing to watch. The monsters are actual hand-drawn monsters and not just some dumb CGI. The action looks great and overall it's just a joy to look at. The characters are interesting and have real depth to them. The story immediately pulls you in and won't let you go, and I really hope it won't poop the bed with its ambitious looking story. It tackles already a lot of themes, and when a show juggles so many different ones, it always scares me because some anime can't even do a single one. But I have a good feeling about it. Hopefully the ending won't suck. Please, come on, please, don't ruin it. Kaminaki Sakai no Kamisama Katsudo. Warning, I am a vacuum cleaner for isekai anime. When I see one, I suck it up and at least try it out, regardless of how generic it may sound like. Something just draws me near them, most of the time dropping them after 2 or 3 episodes because they are just that bland, but this one, probably the funniest one since Konosuba for me, and it even got its very own kinda useless but not so useless goddess too. The MC is the child of a code leader who sacrifices him to grow stronger, and he spawns in a new world and blah blah blah, you know how that goes. Some things happen and a little goddess shows up who really loves the MC, but in this world there are no gods or religion, so nobody is worshipping her, and without any followers she's powerless. So the MC starts finding ways to make people worship her, and eventually he even makes electricity and tractors happen, and everyone is happy. And I have to say, this anime is just funny. It hits all the tropes I love. Some proud warrior who gets turned into fan service, a dumb goddess who thinks she's smart but everyone makes fun of her, a sister who exploits the body of her other sister, some dumb dude is, you know, who thinks more with his dick than his actual brain since he doesn't really have a brain, all that good stuff. I gave the show a chance because I saw a horrendous looking CGI monster, and you may have seen it too, but I can assure you, they're taking a piss with it. The show actually has some pretty nicely drawn scenes and moments, and every other monster just, but you know, every other monster just has this cheaper than PlayStation 2 CGI to it, which makes me laugh instead of taking me out of the action. Look at this tractor scene. It's just real life footage with a filter and the guy's head photoshopped over it. Also look at the duck in front of it. They can't be serious with it. The CGI is like part of the fun. I'm pretty sure they tried baiting people in with it. They were like, hey, you know, let's use the worst CGI known to mankind so people check it out, and it worked on me. Or maybe they thought, hey, you know, maybe we really don't have the budget. They probably don't have a lot of budget, but it's funny. Normally I hate CGI, but here it's just funny because they're taking the piss out of it. I can't explain it more than this. I don't even know why I'm saying this right now. Dead Mount Death Play. Instead of being an isekai, it's kind of like a reverse isekai. It kind of tricks you into thinking it's going to be some fantasy and that you're going to follow the view of the typical hero, but actually it's from the view of the evil character. But is he actually evil? In the first episode alone I thought about dropping it because of the amount of CGI, because it wasn't just the monsters or skeletons being CGI, but also the background city and alleyways sometimes in it. It's for sure one of the uglier anime I've seen in a while, but I've pushed through and now I actually do like the premise of the show, and there's a hot killer girl. Also the anime can get pretty edgy, which I love sometimes. We all need a bit of edge in our life. Blood, characters that love to kill, generic and troopy backstories that are filled to the brim with edginess. I wish my life would be a bit more exciting like that, especially since I'm a masochist and getting cut by a cute girl would be the highlight of my life. It's pretty trashy in the best possible way for me. And those were kinda all the ones I watched so far and enjoyed without dropping them. Lots of nice comedy for me this season. Even if most of them are the kind of random and quirky humor which I'm a fan of, even if people may call it cringe or dumb. I don't really care. In the end, you should enjoy the things you enjoy, not what people want you to enjoy. Don't be ashamed of your taste and wear it proud on your chest or sleeve or wherever as long as you wear it. If you enjoyed the video, you can leave a like or a sub, but not the kind of Subway sub, even though I haven't had one in a long time, and they don't really do deliveries here. It's a sad life out there sometimes. Guess I'm gonna have to make my own, but before I end this, I'm gonna drop the hot take that I always wanted to drop, and I think sandwiches are not that great. Goodbye forever, because you will never watch another video after I just said that sandwiches basically suck. I'm not gonna apologize. Good night.